Welcome to all. I'm Sebastian, and today I want to give you another quote, my all-time favorite quote, at least one of my top 5 favorite quotes by Earl Nightingale. Here goes. Faith is perseverance, and perseverance is faith. Now, it might sound like nothing, but when I heard this for the first time, when I read this for the first time, I was liberated. I have no other words. I was liberated. Because, in the law of attraction community and in the text and in the forums, we all talk about having faith. Faith in the unseen, as Neville Goddard would say. But what is really faith, right? What it means to have faith. A lot of people might think that, faith in the unseen, faith is believing, right? So they ask you to believe that you already are who you want to be, and everything will unfold naturally because you believe it so much. But the thing is this is a little bit misconstrued because seeing is believing. And it is hard. I wouldn't say impossible, but it is quite difficult to believe in something that we have no real proof of. As humans, that's the way we're wired. It is hard to have a blind faith into something. I mean, yes, you have religious people who have blind faith in things, but remember that a lot of these people have been raised in a particular religion since they were born. For better or worse, that's not a judgment. I'm not judging this at all. I'm just giving you an example. When you have been raised a certain way since you were born, well, your personality is shaped. Your conscious mind was not that powerful, so to speak, when you were younger. So your subconscious mind was much more amenable when you were a kid than it is now. That's why those young kids grow up to become very devout Catholic, Jews, Muslims, whatever the case may be. That's the way it is. Because your subconscious mind as a kid is more amenable to now. Your conscious mind gets in the way when you grow up. And generally speaking, when you want big things in your life, those are things you don't necessarily, you have more resistance towards. That's why they are big things. Because they are big things you want for your life. And generally speaking, you have more resistance towards it. And you have less belief and more doubts that you can get it. Which is totally human, by the way. There's nothing wrong with it. It's normal. And therein lies the challenge, which makes life more interesting. And as I said in my previous video, success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Never forget this. That's very important. So don't worry about this. It's totally normal. That's all I'm saying. It is what it is. Generally speaking, the big things are harder to manifest because we have more resistance and more doubts towards those particular goals, right? So when it comes to faith, do we necessarily need to believe 100% into having those things? No, it's not the case at all. What does it mean to believe that you can have it? Generally speaking, when Neville Goddard said, have faith in the unseen, you always have to put things into the right context. He said this, but he also said, and Joseph Murphy said the same thing, Emil Coe also said the same thing. They all say the same thing. You have to shut down the senses. That's why before sleep is generally speaking, not all the time, but generally speaking, the best time because your subconscious mind is shutting down to give way to the subconscious mind. And in this transitional phase, this is the right time to impress your subconscious mind because your subconscious mind is more amenable because the conscious mind is shutting down. The same thing can be said about meditation. When you close your eyes and you meditate, when you release and surrender, you close your eyes and you let go of the senses, and progressively you will see that you have more and more emptiness, more and more clarity, and more peacefulness, because your mind, your conscious mind is being shut. So you won't be distracted by too many thoughts, by your senses, and that is the right time to impress your subconscious mind with scripting, with visualization, with affirmation, whatever subconscious mind tapes, whatever the case might be for you. That's why I'm saying you choose whatever techniques works best for you, whatever makes you feel better. Anyway, I digress. But this is the time when you have faith. It means there's nothing distracting you. It doesn't mean you believe it. When you do it, you don't ask yourself, do I believe this? You don't even question, because if you're doing it well, when your mind, when you, have you ever been sleep deprived? Whenever I'm sleep deprived, like for more than 24, 36 hours, it happens sometimes, I generally have less distraction because my mind is tired, so it's hyper focused on things. I'm still tired, but I'm hyper focused and I have less negative thoughts, surprisingly. And I'm just like hyper focused, and I don't, because my mind is constantly wanting to shut off. So I have less negative thought, less distraction, and the same thing goes for before sleep. Your mind is conscious mind, sorry, is shutting off, and you have the subconscious mind that is coming in. I mean, the subconscious mind is always active, but once you shut the conscious mind, the only thing left is the subconscious mind. You won't even think when you're doing the techniques and all this stuff, do I believe or do I not believe? Especially before sleep, because you're literally going to fall asleep. You just do your affirmation, and that's the beauty of it, because you're just doing it and you don't think about it. You're just doing it, and it works amazing, because it's just like you close your eyes and there's no more space for anything else but your visualization and your affirmations, and that is doing it right. You don't have to question, I'm doing it or not. It is what it is. It's natural. It's organic. You just close your eyes, affirm. Obviously, when you affirm, you don't just like, I'm rich. No, you do it with conviction. And that is faith in the unseen. Is in your conversation, you close your eyes, you just say your affirmation. You don't need to think twice, think about, am I doing it right, am I doing it wrong? You just say it as if it was really true. And when you shut down the senses, that's why it's always better, your techniques, and this I get from Joseph Halley. He's a great YouTuber. You guys should definitely check it out. When it comes to manifestation, especially Neville Goddard, it's like, what techniques you use before sleep is much more powerful than if you were to do it during your day-to-day. Why? Because during your day-to-day, your mind is scattered. You're busy with other things. You're moving from places to places. You're talking to people. Therefore, your conscious mind is really active. So you won't be so easy to impress the subconscious mind. And this is a good sign. And that's also from Joseph Halley. Your negative thoughts are not as powerful. Obviously, don't dwell on your negative thoughts. That's not what I'm saying. But you have to be reassured that they are not so powerful, because your mind is scattered. Your mind has no time your subconscious mind doesn't really have the time to be impressed. Whereas before sleep, that's the only thing you're doing, is shutting off your conscious mind and deliberately closing your eyes and having faith in the unseen. And that's why this time of the day, or when you're meditating, is more important, because that's the only focus. It's shutting off the conscious mind and impressing the subconscious mind. So that's the only time when you really, really need faith. And by faith, it just means that you are shutting off your senses and doing your techniques. That's it. When you shut off your senses, and when I say shut off your senses, it's all the distractions of outside. And that includes thoughts. And sometimes you will have a little bit of thoughts even when you're doing your affirmation, but your affirmations are just so much more powerful. If you listen, whenever you have a thought, you just revert back to your affirmation, or your visualization, or your scripting. You don't dwell on your thoughts. And when you don't dwell, you're not pushing them away. You just you just know that they're here and just go back to this. You don't have any, like when you hear a sound on the street, you just, okay, Just, it's here, but you focus on what you're doing. That's the same thing. This is a thought. Okay, whatever. Go back to what you're doing. In that case, affirmation, scripting, whatever, visualization, etc., whatever the case might be for you. So that is the only time when you actually have to have faith in the unseen. The rest of the time, you're living a life. And obviously, if you have a negative thought, replace it with a positive thought. That's it. But do you have to believe 100%? No. And this actually I get from another YouTuber whose name is Illuminating Joy. I forgot her name, but the name of her channel is Illuminating Joy. She said you don't have to believe that it will happen. You have to believe that it can happen. And that's very subtle, but it's huge difference. You have to believe it can happen. So you don't need to think, oh my God, I'm not believing what is going to happen. No, that's bullshit. You don't need to think about it. And I will give you the most liberating thing. And I know I digressed. It seemed like I digressed for the most of this video, but this is the most important thing. This quote is the most important thing. Why is it the most important thing? Because yes, as Earl Nightingale said, faith is perseverance and perseverance is faith. And I had to explain why. I had to start with the premises of all I had said in this video to conclude with this quote and tell you why what I said previously was important to make this quote more understandable. Why? Because when you do persistent assumptions, what is before assumption? Persistence. Neville Goddard said that if you persist in your assumption, even though your senses deny your assumption, if you persist, your assumption will harden into facts. And that's why persistence is incredibly important when it comes to law of attraction. You cannot just do it once and expect, and yes, of course it can happen. Sometimes things are instantaneous, but you have to be willing and disciplined and patient and resilient enough to persevere. I read on a forum, I think it was on Reddit a few weeks ago, and this person, I think she was a woman, I'm not sure, and she said, doubts don't matter. If you have big doubts, small doubts, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is persistence, because the faith is the persistence, and the more you persist, the less doubts you will have. Because faith is your perseverance. And why it was so liberating for me? Because for such a long time, I was thinking, do I have faith? Do I believe in myself, etc.? But I always knew I was perseverant and persistent with everything. I've always been very perseverant. But when it came to faith and belief in myself and my manifestation, I was like questioning myself. I was like, am I faithful? Do I believe in my manifestation? Do I believe that this can really happen? So when asking this type of question, I had doubts. And I was like, and when I read this quote, I was like, oh my God, that's fucking amazing. That's exactly what I needed. And for all of you guys, some of you might probably resonate with this. It's not so much the faith as we are taught to believe in something blindly, unknowingly. No. It's just the perseverance. And when you really think about it, it makes total sense. It's completely logical. Like, that's what Earl Nightingale said. If you did not have faith, you will not persevere. So perseverance is faith, and faith is perseverance. Think about this. A lot of you are in this process, and you're trying things, and things might work or might not, but you keep on trying, regardless of the outcome, regardless of the ups and downs, and you're still trying. And that is faith. You have faith because you are constantly moving forward and you're willing to try out everything until you get what you want. As Helen Hetzel said, you don't take no for an answer. There's no failure, only delay in results. Remember this. So I will really encourage you, and I hope this video and this quote by Earl Nightingale will help you as much as it helped me, and give you more conviction into what you're doing and your belief in yourself, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. And remember, as Neville Goddard said, you are a God of your own reality. Remember this, that's very important. So it's okay. Ups and downs are okay, all these things. Remember, also a quote by Earl Nightingale. Watch my previous video. Success is the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. And to have this progressive realization, you need perseverance. You need faith. Remember this. I hope you guys like this video. Please like, share, and comment if you do appreciate this video. If you have any question, anything to say, leave it in the comment box below. It helps me make other videos, it helps me communicate with you, and it helps my channel grow. So I'm very grateful any other way. And if you want more information about me, my coaching, my books, etc., description box below. Is it description box? Yeah, description box below. And thank you so much. I also have another YouTube channel and a private Facebook group. I think I said it all. Thank you so much. Let's wrap it up, and I'll see you very soon.